Welcome, folks, to the Death Gate.
You all know why we've come here. The patrons have pushed us into a corner. Their magic has grown too powerful to hold in check. These villains are stealing the worship of our own followers. We must do something before they marshal their forces, before they destroy us and all we stand for. We've come to the vortex to destroy the world.
Legend Entertainment Company presents
Life will be better after the sundering. Our followers will live on in the new worlds of air, fire, stone, and water. Our enemies will be trapped in the labyrinth to contemplate their dark ways. And we will guide the new order into the future. Help me, my friends. Let us summon the world seal and begin the process of healing.
based on the novels by Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman.
This shield ties together all of Earth's elements. As we sunder it, so do we sunder the world. Thus we begin a new age.
A Grim Dahlgren design.
Death Gate. Based on a heptology by Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman, a 7-part series of fantasy novels. The main conflict between two powerful races, the Sartan and the Patrons. They branched off from the human following of a nuclear antimatter holocaust. Centuries prior to the events of the series, the Sartan attempted to end the conflict by sundering the earth into 4 elemental realms and imprisoning the Patryn in the 5th prison world, the Labyrinth. The Sartan took up stewardship of the elemental realms, but soon mysteriously lost contact with each other and disappeared. Centuries later, a Patryn known as Czar escaped the Labyrinth and started returning to the Labyrinth to rescue others. He learned how to access the other worlds and dreamed of freeing all his people from the Labyrinth and conquering the other worlds. These books follow the fiercely independent Haplo, a Patryn agent sent to scout the elemental worlds and throw them into chaos in preparation for the Lord's conquest of them. Tracy Hickman and Margaret Weis have created 5 distinct fantasy worlds during the course of the series. Realms of air, earth, fire, water, and the void. Also several cultures, humans, dwarves, and elves, and the unique Patryn and Sartan. This will be a Game Hoarder Let's Play on a very, very, very fucking awesome series of books. The Death Gate Cycle.
2,000 years ago, the Sartan Council sundered the world into 5 realms. One of them was a nightmarish prison called the Labyrinth, and into it was banished the entire Patryn race, your ancestors. This is the place you've always called home, and all you've ever wanted is escape. Your name is Haplo, and you are a Patryn. Not long ago, Lord Czar, the most powerful Patryn sorcerer of his generation, broke through the Labyrinth's final gate. In doing so, he paved the way for others to follow. The path was still difficult, but not impossible. Your travels led you to the final gate, where the combined forces of the Labyrinth waited to turn you away. The fight was hopeless. Alone you never would have survived. But then Lord Czar appeared, and with his help you were able to rout the dark monsters of the Labyrinth. What followed is hazy. You remember stumbling out of the final gate, but then you collapsed on the ground, and Lord Czar's concerned face faded to darkness as you lost consciousness.
Restore? There's nothing to restore. This elegant room has the unmistakable touch of Sartan architecture. Zaw, since before you studying a tome. Good for him. Fuck that. What the shit? That's a terrible way to start a fucking Let's Play. Jesus Christ. Get with the picture here, Ron Stock. Alright. What to do here? We have some glow lamps here. Let's try taking a glow lamp.
Yes, I forgot that you'll need some light for the ship's interior. I'll still have one glow lamp left. Feel free to take that one.
I will feel free to take that one, ass nugget. I guess my left is your right. Let's talk to Czar. No, don't take Czar, you dick. How do we talk to him? Shit. What the talk? Don't take talk. Holy asshole, this game is difficult. Oh, now there's a talk to.
Ah, Haplo. Do you feel well enough to talk, my son? I was worried. You took some serious wounds in your dash for the final gate. It was all I could do to repair your heart rune and heal you. The few weeks since you escaped the Labyrinth should have been enough time to recover, but we don't want to rush it. I know you have a lot of questions. I'll do my best to answer them, but first I'd like to give you some history.
Oh, shit.
You've spent your life trying to escape the Labyrinth and hating the Sartan who consigned our race there. But you don't really know the full story. Even I didn't know everything when I escaped, but I learned quickly. You see this city around us? The Sartan made this. They made it for us, if you can believe it, for when we emerged from the Labyrinth, we were supposed to be docile, rehabilitated, brainwashed. Instead, we hate our Sartan jailers more than ever. There are libraries here, stocked with books. Since my escape, I've been studying them. They tell me much, but not all. There are mysteries I cannot explain, but I will tell you everything I've learned.
Go for it.
2,000
years
ago, our Patryn ancestors warred with the Sartan. We were winning. It was only a matter of time until we defeated the evil sorcerers, took our rightful place as leaders of the world, and freed the other races from their slavery to the Sartan. In desperation, a Sartan named Sama hatched a fiendish plan. He intended to sunder the world into 5 realms. 4 of these realms would be homes to the mensch races, elves, humans, and dwarves. The 5th is here, the Labyrinth. It was supposed to serve as a prison for our race. They created a magic artifact called the World Seal. With it, they succeeded in sundering the world. Our ancestors were trapped in the Labyrinth, and the rest of the world was broken into the other 4 realms. They planned to lord over the realms and administer the Labyrinth as we were rehabilitated. But something happened. They just disappeared, and with them, all of their good intentions. Without the guidance of the Sartan, the Labyrinth became a slaughterhouse. Its magic made it aware, intelligent, and it wanted our blood. Life was a living hell for our people. But instead of breaking us as the Sartan wanted, the Labyrinth has made us stronger. Many of us have escaped, despite the Labyrinth's best efforts. I go back in every day to aid others in their way. I only needed to take you a few hundred feet. You even demanded that you cross the final gate on your own, without any help, before you passed out. You should be proud. Now, my son, I need you. Since my escape, I have been devising a plan to restore our people to our once glorious position. It is our birthright. To this end, you must carry out a very special mission for me. I need you to go into these realms. You'll not only be gathering information, but searching for the seal itself. With it in hand, I plan to reform the world from the broken pieces that the Sartan left us. But here I've been dominating the conversation. You must be very confused. I'm sure you have many questions for me. I'll detail my plan later.
How exactly did the Sartan sunder the world?
How exactly did the Sartan sunder the world?
Shit.
The Sartan commanded their dwarven slaves to forge an artifact called the World Seal. It consisted of 5 metal hexagons, each inscribed with a rune, a symbol, which represented one of the 5 realms. They broke the seal apart, and as they did, the world broke apart as well. It was sundered into the 5 realms, and each seal piece went into the realm that it named. As you see above my head, the seal piece that names the Nexus is here.
Tell me about the other realms.
Certainly, my son. The Sartan sundered the world into 5 realms. They based 4 of them on the elements: air, fire, stone, and water. The 5th, of course, is the Labyrinth. They are all separated by large distances, too far to travel in a lifetime. That's why the Sartan created the Death Gate. Through it, people can travel from one realm to any other.
Can you tell me about the realm of air?
The books here are rather sketchy about the realms, but of all of them, the world of air, or Arianus as the Sartan named it, is the one I'm most familiar with. It's made up of many separate continents which float in the air.
The Tsar pulls out a map of the floating continents, each labeled with a strange word, which you assume is its name. The distinctive shapes of the islands stick in your mind.
The lower continents are populated by the dwarves. Those islands are plagued with almost continuous electrical storms. The higher continents, with much better weather, are homes to the humans and elves. Perhaps it indicates a pecking order in the Mensch. Who knows? The books don't say much more about it, regrettably.
Now, if you read the books, I do believe that they start off explaining, they start off with the dwarves in the lower realms of the air, Arianus. And you learn about the Kixie Wincy and many other things. But yes, anyways, on to the realm of fire.
Tell me about the realm of fire.
The realm of fire, or Pryan, is a hollow world. Instead of living on the outside of the sphere, as we did on the original world, they live on the inside, along the inner curvature. At the center, 4 powerful suns throw their heat and light upon the ground. I believe it is the largest of the realms, but I know little else about it.
What do you know about the realm of stone?
Abarak, realm of stone, is not much more than a rock hanging in space. It's full of warrens, tunnels, and lava tubes. From the sketchy notes I read about it, it sounds perfectly horrible. Definitely the worst place to live of all the realms.
Can you tell me anything about the realm of water?
Celestra is the realm of water. And in fact, it is a ball of water. At its heart is a sea sun which warms and lights the interior. The exterior is completely frozen, exposed as it is to the cold of space. Sea moons orbit the sea sun. They are hollow, living creatures which draw energy from the sun. Inside, the Sartan built cities to house not only the Mensch, but themselves. I believe that they intended to finally live there to administrate over all of the realms.
Have you learned anything about the Labyrinth?
Like I explained, the Labyrinth was supposed to rehabilitate our entire race. With the Sartan in control, the test that it administered would have been difficult, even violent, but never fatal. The Sartan disappeared, and somehow the Labyrinth became sentient. Its magic took on an intelligence. It started to kill us. Slowly, but surely. It toyed with us, always gave us just enough hope to keep us fighting. It created environments and monsters that even the twisted Sartan had never dreamed of. But we bested it. We escaped, and more of our kind are escaping all the time. But it is a trickle instead of a flood. Most of our race is still trapped inside. If my plan unfolds as I expect, I will free everyone at the same instant, and bring an end to our imprisonment once and for all.
What is this place exactly? It's not the Labyrinth.
It's known as the Nexus, kind of a way station. This city is where the Sartan were supposed to watch over the Labyrinth. I believe they were going to give it to us as a place to live once we had been rehabilitated. It makes a perfect staging area for my plan.
The Death Gate. What's that?
The Death Gate is a portal. It connects the 5 realms. With a good ship and the right magic, anyone can cross the Death Gate from one realm to any other.
What kind of magic is needed to cross the Death Gate?
It's very simple, yet infernally unattainable. The books describe the necessary preparations. You need a ship, one powered by magic with the ability of flight. You need a steering stone, magically treated to guide the ship through the portal. But upon the stone, you also need the naming rune of the target realm. The books state this, but neglect to actually show the runes, as if they were common knowledge. None of the books depict these runes. For years, I've been researching the subject, reading every document, poring over every scrap of parchment, and I believe I've finally divined one of the runes, that of Ariamus, World of Air. It's the only one I've been able to reconstruct, and it's taken years. I don't even know if it's possible to produce the others, given the pitiful research materials I have. It's my thought that the other runes might lie somewhere inside the realm of air. For some time, I've been planning to send someone there to look for them.
Have you crossed the Death Gate?
No, I haven't been able. I've made preparations, but it's always been my intention to send an emissary, or more appropriately, a scout in my stead. In fact, I was hoping that you would be my eyes in these realms.
Do you have a ship?
Yes, the Sartan were kind enough to leave one for us. It didn't have the steering stone that such a ship requires, but I was able to reproduce one. Without the naming runes of the realms, of course.
Let's go back a step.
Certainly.
Can we talk about something else?
Of course. What do you want to know?
Where did the Sartan disappear to?
I don't know. I don't think their disappearance was planned. All of their documents indicate that they expected to be around for a long time to enjoy the fruits of their labor. It seems that one day they just vanished. I have a few theories. It's possible that they did plan to vanish. They might be hiding somewhere in the realms, using the disappearance as a smokescreen to make us careless. When the time is right, they will return with our deaths in their hands. In any case, I take nothing for granted. I must know where the Sartan went to. I must have vengeance. Our people cry for it. Somewhere in the realms there must be signs, clues. Eventually, we shall discover them, and the trail will lead us to the Sartan. Then we shall destroy them.
Yes, we shall kick their fucking asses.
You repaired my heart rune?
Yes. As the Labyrinth continued to attack you, the magic rune tattooed over your heart became weaker and weaker. When I discovered you, it was actually broken. As you know, heart runes must be complete to function. They sustain us, protect us. They are like circles. The magic of your being continually flows through it. If it becomes weak, you cannot cast spells. If it ever becomes broken, you fall ill. Luckily, I found you in time. I was able to draw upon my own life force to lend to you. It repaired your heart rune and made you strong enough to overcome the final hurdle of the Labyrinth.
How do you get back into the Labyrinth to help our people escape?
The Labyrinth doesn't mind letting people in. It's letting them out that it doesn't like. I think the Labyrinth has something personal against me. It tries to lure me in as far as possible before it throws everything it has at me. Don't believe that I'm not afraid. Every time I enter, I wonder if I'll ever return. I've been able to get the best of that demon place many times, but every trip it gets more devious, more dangerous.
What is your plan?
The Sartan's plan was unnatural. They killed millions of mensch and consigned our race to a living hell. I intend to undo the damage. I want to reform the world. Much like the Sundering, the Reformation will require all 5 of the seal pieces. I have the Nexus seal piece, but I need the other 4. The Sartan have hidden them somewhere in their realms. You must be my agent. I need you to go into the realms and find those seal pieces and bring them back here. When I have them all, I will reform the world, free our people, and bring the Sartan to justice. Now I know the naming rune for only one of the realms. I will give you a marker with the rune upon it. Use the rune transfer spell to place it upon the steering stone on board your ship. The stone will then be able to transport you to Arianus, the realm of air.
That will be our first destination.
Since I don't know the runes that name the other 3 realms, I can only hope that you will find them somewhere on Arianus. I also wish to know what happened to the Sartan. Their disappearance mystifies me. Finally, I want you to learn any new spells that you come across. It's only through the infusion of new spells that we will be able to build up our arsenal of magic. So, do you understand your mission? Take your ship to Arianus, search for its seal piece and the other realms' naming runes, and gather any information you can about the missing Sartan and new magic spells. When you have finished, come back here, deliver the seal piece to me, and give me your report. Now I shall teach you the 2 spells you will need. Watch me closely.
Zar's hand rises. One finger extends and begins to move against an unseen canvas. It leaves behind a glowing line in the air. The design follows the graceful movement of Zar's hand. Finally, Zar draws his hand back, but the spell remains, floating in the air.
This is the rune transfer spell. Study it. Remember it. This next construct defines the identify spell. Watch me again.
The first spell fades, and Zar traces a new design in the air. This one is very simple and quick to complete. You stare at it and commit it to memory.
That's all, my son. I am entrusting the fate of our race to you. Do not fail me.
He tosses you a stone marker with the intricate symbol upon it, the naming rune of Arianus, you guess, and returns studying the tome laid on the desk before him. Alright, so we have stone marker, the naming rune of Arianus, the world of air. And we have a awesome glow lamp. Now over here on the left side, you have the compass of directions you can go. You have the option for wait. You have a map option, which you'll see kind of grows and shows you the different areas. You have an undo option, which kind of undoes, I guess, the previous action command. And we have our save screen. Music, voice, status, score here. We have 5 out of 1,500 possible points at this juncture. Not sure how much of the actual 1,500 I'll get. It's been quite a while since I played this game. But anyways, let's go back here. And we're now at the dragon ship. You carefully place the glow lamp on a mount by the door. With the new light, you look around your ship carefully, identifying the navigational tools provided. In the center, you see the steering stone. It has the power to guide your dragon ship through the Death Gate and into the other realms, as long as that realm is represented by its naming rune on the surface stone. To the front of the ship, you see the steering wheel. Once you've traveled to a new realm, this allows you to navigate your vessel to places within it. Alright, so what we want to do now is put a marker on the steering stone. Right idea, wrong method. You have to cast rune transfer to place the rune. Okay. Cast. Use magic on marker. Oh shit. What the fuck? Spell, rune transfer, and cast. Alright. There we go. Oh, holy shit, let there be light. Alright, 10 points. Now let's use the steering stone. You call on the power of the steering stone to take you through the Death Gate and into Arianus, world of air.
Whee!
Now obviously this is going to be somewhat of a dialogue heavy game. It's not going to be quite as bad as Planescape Torment. But I am going to try to exhaust as many of the dialogue options as possible. This is, after all, a game based after a 7th series novel. So our goal here is to give you as much background, history, characterization, plot, and reference to the actual books themselves. Your ship arrives in the midst of a terrible storm. Quickly, you look around for a place to land and ride out the weather. And all you see is space. There's no ground anywhere. Suddenly, through the lightning, rain, and wind, you make out a floating island as big as a continent. You pilot the ship towards it and land on a bare rock, just outside of a cave. You stand on a barren rock under a raging storm. The cave opens into a mountain wall, and the ramp rises into your ship. Alright, well, we can go this way, which leads us back into the ship, so we really only have one direction to go. The small cavern contains a control panel, several pieces of furniture, and a female dwarf. The dwarf looks up at you in surprise.
Oh my! You're huge! But you're not glowing. Are you a god?
A god? Of sorts, perhaps. Why would I be glowing?
All gods glow. At least everyone I've seen glows. How can you be a god if you're not glowing?
You've seen gods around? Do they call themselves Sartan by chance?
No, they just call themselves gods. Maybe you're thinking about some other gods.
She adds ever so helpfully.
Well, if you were a god, you'd know that we don't necessarily glow all the time.
The gods claim that they are gods because they glow. Anyone who doesn't glow can claim to be a god. You're big, but I don't think you're a god.
How many gods have you seen?
About this many. I think that there are more, but I don't get to see them.
She holds up 3 stubby dwarven fingers.
Ah, you've caught me. I'm not really a god, I'm just a traveler.
A traveler? Nice to meet you.
She looks you up and down.
Jar. You're awfully big not to be a god, but you don't act like one. They're always yelling and commanding and taking things. Gods aren't very nice. Look what they did to my electric zinger panel.
What did they do?
They tore it apart, that's what. They tromped in here on one of their studies, ripped out one of the control switches, and removed a zinger from on top of its pole outside. Do they think that we have spares? They didn't even tell me why they did it either. Just because someone's a god doesn't mean they have to be impolite, you know.
Electric zinger? What's that?
The zingers are set up on the poles outside of the cave. When the lightning hits them, they suck up the electricity. I think the Kixie Winsy likes electricity or something. After the zingers have sucked up all they can hold, I pull these levers. Then the show starts.
The Kixie Winsy? What's that?
Why, it's the machine. How can you not know about the Kixie Winsy? It's everywhere. It digs our homes out from the earth. It makes water for us to drink and does, well, other things too. It's our responsibility to care for it, so it can care for us as well.
She utters her final remark proudly.
Show? What show?
The zingers go crazy. They start spinning around and shooting sparks everywhere. Most of the electricity gets sucked into the Kixie Winsy, though, through the poles. Then my meters go back down, and I wait all over again.
You mean that's all you do? Sit here and pull levers?
It's not that easy. You have to know the very best time to pull the levers. My family has been pulling these levers for years, and I'm the best lever puller there's been in a long time.
This is all very interesting, but can you tell me more about these gods?
Well, they only showed up about 100 years ago. They dropped from the air in a flying ship. We were curious, of course, and were prepared to greet them as friends. But a glowing figure emerged and declared itself our god. At least one of many. None of us glow. And no one had ever claimed to be a god before, so we believed it. Now they've moved in and taken control. Personally, I liked life without all this divine intervention.
When it arrived, your glowing figure claimed to be a god, and you bought it?
Why would someone lie about that? I wouldn't claim to be a god if I wasn't.
Idiot.
Besides, he glowed.
He glowed.
The way they explain it, you can't glow if you're not a god.
Bitch, my dick glows.
If the figure didn't glow, would you have believed it?
Probably not. If they looked like you, I would have just thought that they were big, but not gods. A few extra feet of height doesn't make you divine.
How exactly have these gods taken control?
They moved into the Kixie-Winsy control room and kicked everyone else out. They're always doing tests and things to it. I don't like them tinkering with the Kixie-Winsy as if they didn't know how to work it. I mean, if you're a god, aren't you supposed to know all that stuff? Anyway, they've also kept us away from the north exit. That's where their ship is. They've always got a guard there to make sure, like they don't trust us.
If you're so upset with the gods, why don't you just drive them off?
They're gods. You don't just tell gods to go away if they get inconvenient. I might not like them, but they're ours. If they weren't gods, though, you can bet we'd have gotten rid of them long ago.
I've enjoyed talking with you, but I'd like to explore this Kixie-Winsy thing.
Oh, certainly. Say hello to Limbeck if you get a chance. He's just in the next room.
All right, folks, stay tuned. We're going to continue this in the next episode. Thanks for watching.